This is Algebra Lesson 9.5. We're going to talk about the absolute value function. Absolute value is defined as the distance from 0. So, the symbol for the absolute value is two bars that go around a value. If I asked you how far is 7 from 0, you would tell me that 7 is 7 units from 0. But if I asked you how far is negative 7 from 0, you would tell me again that negative 7 is 7 units from 0. We don't measure distances in negative. I mean, if you walk 5 feet forward and then you turn around and you walk 6 more feet, just because you change direction doesn't change the number of feet you walked. You might be 1 foot from your starting place, but you did walk a total of 11 feet. So, basically, all we need to do is whatever value is in our absolute value bars in that symbol is we just make it positive. Now we do want to use our order of operations to evaluate all the expressions inside the bars before we change the answers to positive. We don't want to just get rid of all the negative symbols. So let's do a couple of examples so I can hopefully clear up what I mean. The first one says, well, they all say evaluate, which just means find the answer. So, the absolute value of 5 is 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is also 5. So, the answer here is 10. The next one gives me negative 7 plus 3. So, that value is negative 4. Now, I take the absolute value of what was inside, not the absolute value of positive 7 and positive 3. So, this actually is a positive 4. I got negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4, and then the absolute value of negative 4 is 4. On the top here I have a positive 4, on the bottom here I have a positive 4. 4 over 4 is 1. Letter D, I have 2 times the absolute value of negative 6. The absolute value of negative 6 is positive 6. And then negative 3 times the absolute value of negative 6, again, the absolute value of negative 6 is positive 6. And then we do 2 times 6 is 12, negative 3 times 6 is negative 18, and 12 plus negative 18 is negative 6. So I did get a negative answer in this situation. I used my order of operations, I got rid of my absolute values, but I ended up with a negative answer. Same thing over here. The absolute value of 8 is 8, but negative, the absolute value of 8 is negative 8. And the absolute value of 0 is 0, because 0 is 0 units from 0. 0 is 0 units from 0. I use 0 3 times in one sentence. That's pretty fun. Okay, letter B. Solve each equation or inequality. I guess they're all equations. I should probably fix that. We're going to solve these the way we normally solve. We're going to undo this plus 2 by doing a minus 2 on both sides of the equation. And 2 minus 2 is gone. 12 minus 2 is 10. Now, the question is, what values are 10 units away from 0? Well, 10 is 10 units away from 0, but negative 10 is also 10 units away from 0. When we solve an absolute value equation, we always end up with 2 answers, a positive number and a negative. Well, not always. Not always positive and negative, but always 2 answers. Because we have to think of those 2 values that are from 0, not just the positive version. Okay, so this next one, we're going to solve it the same way. We're going to add 4 to both sides, and that brings down the absolute value of x minus 2, which is 26. And now, I don't want to add 2 yet to both sides, because that's inside my symbol. I need to work my way outside in. So I got to get rid of the absolute value symbol first. To get rid of an absolute value, this is where we do the positive and the negative. And then my last step would be to add 2 to both sides, but when I do that, I need to make sure I'm adding it to both of my answers. So, x in this case is 28 and negative 24. Okay, this last one is just going to incorporate lots of steps, but it's the same thing. We're going to undo my addition with subtraction. Subtract 7 from both sides of the equation. Okay, my next step would be to undo my multiplication. I have a 5 times the absolute value of x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. and the absolute value of x plus 3 is 5. I'm going to get rid of my absolute value symbols by doing both the positive and the negative version of the answer. And then finally I'm going to undo that that addition using subtraction, and x is 2 and negative 8. That's it for the notes on this lesson. Please let me know if you have questions, and good luck on the exercises.